I want to give all praises, honors, and glories to Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Hashem Kakatash, and double blessings and honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. And in this lesson, I want to title it, We Are Under These Curses. And the Israelites that are under these curses are the blacks, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And I'm going to start off on Deuteronomy 28. And I'm going to start it. Alright, Deuteronomy 28 and 15. The consequences, because of the curses that are brought upon us, these are the consequences of our disobedience. But it shall come to pass, that thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of thy Lord Yahweh thy power, thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I commanded thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Cursed shall thou be in the city, and cursed shall thou be in the field. Cursed shall be the fruit of thy body, and the fruit of thy land, the increase of thy kind, and the flocks of thy sheep. And today we ain't got no sheep, we ain't got no field, we ain't got no land, we got nothing. We're stuck in Babylon. And yeah, we don't got no increase. In verse 19, cursed shall thou be when thou comest in, and cursed shall thou be when thou goest out. Even if we get out of a certain state, or if we die, we are still cursed. Everywhere you go. Jake, the Israelites were cursed. The Lord shall send upon thee cursing, vexation, and rebuke, and all thou settest thy hand unto for to do, till thou be destroyed, until thou perish quickly because of the wickedness of thy doings. Wherefore thou hast forsaken me. And yes, because of the wickedness of our doings, that's why we're cursed. The Lord, Yahweh thy power, shall make the pestilence cleave unto thee, till he hath consumed thee from off the land, whither thou goest to possess it. Actually, probably not that verse, but let me see the word pestilence. Actually, yeah, not verse 21. And yeah, overall, these are the curses that we, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans have. And I'm gonna go down even more. Here's some more curses that the Bible speaks of, proving that we, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, are the Israelites. We are the Lord's chosen people, and not these heathens. In Deuteronomy, let me see. Deuteronomy 28:29. No shall grope at noonday, as the blind gropeth in darkness. And no shall not prosper in thy ways. No shall be only oppressed and spoiled evermore. And no man shall save thee. And save meaning help thee. That word save, be delivered, save, deliver. Basically, no one will help us. And Yasha, that's the word in Hebrew. And groping, grope is Masha. To feel about blindly or uncertainly with your hands. Basically, anything we do, especially like making a business in America, or in general, the Israelites were cursed. That business eventually fails. Something bad happens, and it's just so because the Lord, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, put these curses on us. Those shall betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. Today we got adultery going around, adultery everywhere. That's another curse. Thou shalt build an house, and thou shalt not dwell therein. We'll buy homes and such, but we're still subject to payments, and it's not our home. It's Esau's home. We don't own any homes in Babylon. Thou shalt plant a vineyard and shall not gather the grapes thereof. Which saying we don't got land, we got nothing. And proving that we're the Israelites even more. Deuteronomy 28:31. Thine ox shall be slain before thine eyes, and thou shalt not eat thereof. Thine ass shall be violently taken away from before thy face, and shall not be restored to thee. Thy sheep shall be given unto thine enemies, and thou shalt have none to rescue them. Which we don't got no sheep in today's generation. We don't have any of those livestock anymore. And going on, Deuteronomy 28:32, thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thine hand. And that's talking about slavery. The so-called blacks, so-called African Americans, which I should call Judites, they were in that condition. Overall, all of Israel were in that condition. Their sons and their daughters were given to other slave masters, and they weren't. They were separated. The whole family was separated during slavery. And let's go. I'm gonna keep going down. The fruit of thy land and all thy labors shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up, and thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed away. So shalt thou be mad for the sight of thine eyes, which thou shalt see the Lord Yahweh. Thy power shall smite thee in the knees and in the legs with a sore botch that cannot be healed, from the sole of thy foot unto the top of thy head. The Lord Yahweh thy power shall bring thee and thy king, which thou shalt set over thee, unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, and There shall thou serve other gods, wood and stone. Even today in Babylon, we're serving so-called Jesus, made out of wood, which is not your true God. Different idols. And back in the ancient world, we will get conquered by random nations, and they'll make us serve their idols. And going down on Deuteronomy 28:37, no shall become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all the nations, whether the Lord Yahweh thy power shall lead thee. And we are an astonishment and a proverb and a byword. We're called wetbacks, niggers, spics, and other bywords. Blacks, Mexicans, Africans. All those are a proverb and a byword. Those shall carry much seed out into the field, and shall gather but little in, for the locust shall consume it. Saying that we'll not prosper. We'll not prosper in the fields that we have. The land, our fruits, vegetables, they won't prosper. Thou shalt plant vineyards and dress them, but shall neither drink of wine nor gather the grapes, for the worm shall eat them. Another curse. Thou shalt have olive trees throughout all thy coast, but thou shalt not anoint thyself with oil, for thine oil shall cast his fruit. Thou shalt beget sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity. And that's us right there. That our sons and daughters went to captivity back in the ancient. Back in the ancient world, and back then during the slavery, when the so-called blacks, when they got separated by their families during that time. All thy trees and thy fruit of thy land shall the locust consume. The stranger that is within thee shall get up very high, and thou shalt come down very low. And the strangers, which is what these heathens, Esau, Edom, these other nations, these Arabics, these Elamites, they're in a high position. But we, the Israelites, were in a very low position. And continuing on, I'm looking for this word, stranger, Ga'ar, sojourner, a temporary inhabitant, a newcomer lacking inherited rights, which is Esau. Actually, yeah. Which that stranger is talking about these heathens, but primarily Esau, Edom. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. And we're not the head. Esau is the head, and the Israelites are the tail. Moreover, all of these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of thy Lord Yahweh thy power, to keep his commandments and his statutes, which he commanded thee. Let's see. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever, because thou serve not the Lord Yahweh thy power with joyfulness and with gladness of heart, for the abundance of all things. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord Yahweh thy power shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in the want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck till he hath destroyed thee. And we have to go to Esau for the want of all things: food, water, clothing, shelter, and especially cars that we don't even own. And we have to be subject under payments. And this part right here saying he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck, that's during during slavery. Which this picture is a good example right here. If I can click it. Actually, that looks like wood, but here, look. This one is a good example. That's a yoke of iron upon a Judite's head. That's us. And more examples. The Lord Yahweh thy power shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the ends and of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth. And that eagle representing what? It's Esau Edom, with his symbol of the eagle, which is America, because the eagle represents what? Boldness, proud, and a nation whose tongue those shall not understand. And the word eagle. Damn. Yeah, it's just an eagle. The shark. And verse 50, a nation of a fierce countenance, which shall not regard the persons of the old, nor shew favor to the young. That's Esau right there. Having no pity on the old or the young. Telling them to get off the public benches because they can't sleep there no more. No pity. No help. Especially if we wanting food stamps, such like that. Now he's trying to limit that. He's trying to cut that off. So then now we can't get any food stamps or EBT or unemployment benefits. Yeah. We'll go to Haggai 9:1, Haggai 1 and 6. And this is another curse that we're under constantly. Haggai 1 and 6, ye have sown much and bring in little. Ye eat, but ye have not enough. Ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink. Ye clothe you, but there is none warm. And he that earneth wages to put into a bag with holes. And we're constantly losing money. We're not able to save or have any savings. And yeah, we work so much. But we bring in little income. And that's the state of our people that we're in. And we're going to Baruch 3 and 8. Damn. Baruch 3 and 8. Let me see. Baruch 3 and 8. And behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments according to all the iniquities of our forefathers, of our fathers which depart from the Lord, our God, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. And we're scattered among the nations. We're looked at as a reproach and a curse, and we're constantly subject to payments. Constantly subject to payments, having to pay car insurance. Even if you buy a house, you still have to keep paying that house off yearly with its taxes. You have to pay taxes. Well, you need an ID every time it expires. You need to buy a new ID. And other payments that we're subject to. Yeah. That's all to it, to this lesson. And I want to give all praises, honors, and glories to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem Kakatash, Shalom.